city. DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one. Let's get it. Yeah. Who with me? Let's get it. Yeah. No, with me. Yeah. I'm from the city. DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast. Dre on wheels, he is the one.
He the one, nigga.
So let's get it, baby.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. This is episode 52 of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for another great episode of the podcast, man. Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world, man. Mexico, Germany, the UK, all over the states. Thank you guys for joining me back here for Talk Pro Wrestling. Before we get into the podcast, you guys, just want to let everybody know this is the first official episode on iHeartRadio. Yes, I thank you guys for joining me here this week on this Friday. It's a beautiful day, you guys. You're listening to me on iHeartRadio. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it so much. Wherever you're listening to me at on the podcast this week on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe, leave a 5-star rating and a review, and subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. Like it, leave a comment, share it, and don't forget, you guys, to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, we're gonna get into the show, you guys. This is gonna be a great one. I got my guy Presteeje, you guys. Yes, he's the host of the Dope World News podcast. He's from Pontiac, Michigan. He's joining me here on Talk Pro Wrestling, man. I have him on the main podcast. Danny on here, man, to talk some wrestling, man. Cause we big wrestling fans. This is gonna be a great one, you guys. But before I do, I want to shout out my guest who was on last week, my guy Freddie Hudson, and also prayers from Quebec, Canada. Thank you so much for being on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. But you guys, like I was saying, we about to get into the show. My guy Presteeje, man, what's going on with you, homie?
Hey, man, good. Can't complain. Hey, this one I'm excited for. I was excited for the 1130 podcast, your main show. But this right here, from fan to fan of wrestling, sports entertainment, this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Of course, every week that I get to chat my wrestling, man. So, and to have someone to chat it with also is always thrilled, because nowadays I don't really have too many people to chat wrestling with besides, when I get on the podcast. So I'll be happy. But what's been going on with you though? How everything been going?
Hey, everything been good, man. Just grinding, growing the platform, networking, supporting, just, doing what I can just to be a positive contributor to the podcast space, entertainment space, the things that we do. In my personal life, everything good. Kids healthy, everybody healthy. It's all good my way.
Okay, cool, man, cool. Like I said earlier, this is the first official episode that we're on iHeartRadio, and this is a little different audience, of course, for my wrestling listeners and viewers. Can you tell them just something a little about yourself if they hadn't already tuned you in already?
So, hey, I'm Presteeje from Pontiac, Michigan. Right now, my main thing is I'm a podcaster, content creator. I'm also an event specialist. Me and my partner, we put together some fire events in our area. We bring people out. We have a good time. For those who don't know, I also do artist and brand development. So right now, I got one particular artist that I'm working with. Getting her stuff together, as far as her sound, her business acumen, and all that. So make sure y'all go check out The Lyric Bell. That's on Instagram, Turn Up Industries, #TUI. So y'all make sure y'all go check her out, and that's what I do.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. You seem like you're still killing it, and he's still killing it, man, from day to day. But man, we're going to jump into some wrestling, man. It been a story that broke, I think it was earlier this week or maybe last week. I don't know if you heard about it, but MLW and NXT are going to be partnering up together and to some type of partnership where MLW superstars and I guess NXT superstars will be able to work some way. And with MLW now coming to Vice TV, I wanted to know, what's your thoughts on that? I thought it was going to be great, because we get to see some new faces with the whole AEW deal going on, or thing going on where they are merging with different companies as far as like New Japan and I think it's NWA. WWE, I was saying maybe, Ring of Honor would kind of like be their best fit, but they chose MLW. So I think that's been great because they got great guys over there. I really dig the MLW heavyweight champion, Jacob Fatu. But what's your thoughts on it if you haven't heard about it?
This is my first time hearing about that particular story, but to me, that's good because it's showing the willingness by the WWE to collaborate. For the longest time, they've been some people would call the evil empire, the big empire, who just do their own thing. And if they do reach out, it's to pluck talent from other places. But I feel like with them collaborating, maybe it opens the door for, a little more creativity and booking, match types. Of course, the crossover appeal for those who don't know, NLW. For those people who might not be, the biggest fans of the WWE, maybe it gives them the opportunity, to be reintroduced to the product through NXT, which I feel like is more of a pure wrestling show outside of, Raw and SmackDown, which is more of I'm going to say pop culture type thing where, it's more about the personalities, celebrities and all that stuff, where NXT is more of a pure wrestling show. So I feel like that might get some more eyes to that product.
Yeah, most definitely. Last time I think WWE did something like this, I think they partnered with Evolve, and they partnered with a lot of British wrestling companies overseas, and they brought them into the WWE network and started, airing their stuff on the network and stuff like that. But man, we haven't seen nothing like this because, like you said, WWE is the big, evil empire. They don't work with nobody else. But this is going to be very interesting though, because MLW is good. Do you really watch MLW or you check it out every now and then?
I don't pay too much attention to it. Jacob Fatu, I do know about him and the work he does there. He is a great in-ring worker, great style. So I am familiar with him because, if you familiar with the Fatu family, they handprints is all over the industry. Just about everybody in their family is a star. So it's impossible not to know about him.
Yeah, you're right. I started like catching MLW, I think a couple of years ago when right before MJF came into AEW. He was on MLW, and I was kind of like, okay, I kind of like this thing because AEW came out, it's number 2 big company out there, and the fact that they still allow their wrestlers to work other places, that's kind of cool. You don't really see that in WWE, but I'm excited to see where this goes. NXT is thriving. They, didn't do so well in the ratings wise this past week though. But the show it was dope though. I enjoyed it. What's your thoughts on
it? Well, everybody should have been seeing the episode by now. It was a good episode. We seen a title change with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae becoming the new NXT Women's Champions. I like that they are putting the women in the forefront. Just about everybody that they gave, the spotlight to, they kill it. Whether it be Toni Storm, like, even though she's a heel now, she still is delivering. You can see that they trying to bring Io Shirai back into that picture, floating around the title. Shout out to Raquel Gonzalez, new NXT Women's Champion. So the product is thriving when you got the women going hard. It's a good storyline building up around the Cruiserweight Championship. It's just a good place. Karrion Kross, NXT champion. Kyle O'Reilly want a piece of him. And, Finn Balor, he not going to be too far behind that situation either. So even though people might not be tuning in, it's worth watching. So they got to find a way to engage people to tune in.
How can they engage people to tune in, man? Because this past week was good. Like you just said, new NXT Tag Team Champions. I thought that match was off the chain. We got Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, they broke up Undisputed Era which I don't think a lot of people, like. But I guess we got to move on now. But what could bring attention to NXT? I guess to bring the ratings up.
Now Raw, they are known for this, and sometimes they overdo it, but they need to really start the cross promotion with bringing stars like outside of pro wrestling. Wale, big wrestling fan, hip hop star. Get Jake Paul to come back. I know he made that appearance at WrestleMania. Really start pushing for some of those mainstream stars to come in and just show their face and start putting the product in front of faces that you usually won't tune in. And when they see how charismatic the characters are, how good the matches are, how emotionally involved it gets you, people will stick around. I think that's what Raw felt like sometimes. Like, it falls flat because you have nothing to be emotionally invested in, where NXT, they do an amazing job at that. So the only thing they need to work on is just reaching out and getting new fans to tune in, and I guarantee they'll be able to retain them.
You're right about that, man, because NXT be putting on some of the greatest matches, every single week on TV. And, it could be, an outsider, especially like an entertainer guy come in and, boost it up. But I don't know. I think NXT was, I think it messed up when they got off the network, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, it was cool when it was 1 hour. And I think that was just the thrill of it. It wasn't live. It wasn't on network television where they got so much, they got to do this or that. So I don't know. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it though. I really enjoy it.
Network TV is a different monster because now you competing with people who competing with people who are actually watching television and not streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Your ratings is based on people who tune in that very moment. And when you got, networks like NBC, ABC, like, they've been running the TV game for years now. And the only time period where you could say wrestling dominated them is in the 90s, in the Attitude Era. But once that died down, the dominance of, the network came back. Monday Night Football still go on. People watch Major League Baseball, the NBA. Audiences just be split all the way across the board. So I felt like that network space was perfect because, like, the diehards gonna tune in regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that it's a ratings thing, you got to watch what you do creatively. Now everything is timed different, produced different. Like, it's still good in the format, but like now ratings, now that they count, like, people look at it like, oh yeah, NXT drew 800,000 people this week. It's down. Like, that's going to discourage people to tune in next week.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole network thing kind of was a protection. Like, people who watch, they watch, and they said good things about it. Now it's more about the ratings than what actually happened on the show, and that hurts it.
Yeah, you were right about that. I think another thing that kind of like, punched NXT a little bit is, first it was on Thursdays, then it moved to Wednesdays when AEW came in.
Mm-hmm.
And, Triple H kind of like, and everybody was saying, it's hockey or it was AEW the reason that they moved or whatnot, but now they're on Tuesdays. So it's like, since NXT, I guess, been sort of in the forefront, I guess, with the other two brands of Raw and SmackDown, I guess, for the last 6 or something years or so. It has changed for three different days throughout the week. So like, I think, when it was on the network, it was fine. Like, I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. But it's gonna be dope to see where.
I'm gonna tell you this: they run it like a B show too. Like, they run it. They treat it like SmackDown. SmackDown is the B show, and NXT is the B2 show. So like, until they take a legitimate top guy, not saying that these guys in NXT that's not top guys, but until they take one of the legitimate big dogs in WWE and put him on there and put the time and the attention that they put in Raw and SmackDown into that show, it's kind of going to stay where it's at. So at some point, they're going to have to build this thing up where they take a risk and send, maybe Roman down there, even Shinsuke. I know he coming into the later years of his career. I think he in the middle of a 3-year deal. He might retire after it. But AJ Styles down in NXT, because you could tell that right now in his career, they trying to let him accomplish everything.
Yeah, you're right about it. You can tell.
AJ Styles going down in NXT, because it makes sense, because he's not a homegrown WWE guy like maybe a Roman or even Seth Rollins, who found his way. But AJ Styles going down there could be that thing that turned Tuesday nights into must-see. But they have to treat it like an A show and put A show talent down there. There's plenty of guys you can have good matches with. You got Tommaso Ciampa down there, Karrion Kross. Like, it's some dream matches. The Finn Balor bring that back around. Like, there's some things they can do, but they got to be ambitious with it. I know they use NXT to kind of develop and bring people along, but you still got to have a big dog. I feel like if you send AJ down there, the standard raises and people progress quicker.
You're right about that, man. You're right. But we're going to move on, you guys, here on Talk Pro Wrestling. We were talking about the women's who main evented NXT this past Tuesday, and just women wrestling in general have been circulation, and also people are still upset that we didn't get a new Evolution part 2, a new pay-per-view of all women's wrestling, and the circulation going on around that maybe WWE needs to do it before AEW or whatnot. What's your thoughts on an all women's wrestling brand?
Brand.
And before you answer that, I want to say, some people say it's long overdue. Now, this is my opinion. I say it's the right time. I don't want to say it's long overdue. It's due, but women wrestling at this point haven't reached heights. Like, it's in bigger heights now. Now they main eventing. Now they main eventing WrestleMania. Now they in ladder matches, cage matches. Like 7 years ago, I'm pretty Kelly or maybe Beth Phoenix. I mean, she's a Hall of Famer, but they wasn't doing things that Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, Bianca is doing nowadays. So, I would love to see it. I think it would work.
I would too. This is the thing. I'm gonna say why we haven't seen a Evolution Part 2. On that first Evolution show, you had people like Sasha, Bailey. I think Trish showed up. Mm-hmm. It was some faces on there. But to do a Part 2, you had to have some more compelling and believable stars. And I don't think at the time the WWE was cranking out, women at the rate that they was cranking out women now. Now, if we do an Evolution Part 2, we can bring back Sasha. We got Bianca, Bailey. You can bring back Becky Lynch, Charlotte. Them the old faces now. Now we look at the new faces. You got Ember Moon. You got a Toni Storm. You got a Shotzi Blackheart. Io Shirai. Like, now it's a good quality of depth to do a Part 2. So leaving out of Part 1, I don't think at the time following up they had as much depth as they needed to do it. But now I believe they do. So as far as our own brand, they'll have to find a day, a network, and some more stars. I don't think you can build a brand around like the same 10, 12 stars. You got to have some depth, because you got to have your top main event tier, which you're gonna have to revolve around like 5 people. Your mid card tier, which is gonna be like should be another 5 or 6 people, and then you're gonna have to have your tag teams, which should consist of like 3 to 5 teams, so it could just be interesting. So like you're gonna need like a good 20 to 30 girls to make this work. And the top half of it, everybody has to be great. And the thing too is if you do this, you got to figure out how to incorporate the storylines on this woman brand into the other shows throughout the week. And that's the part I feel like it's gonna be hard because you know how Vince is. You know how Vince is. But
why you think on that one though? Who would be the main woman that you would center this around though?
Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair. And if not Bianca Belair, I would do Rhea Ripley. One of them two. One of those two. But see, with that, we got to find some good chasers for these titles because both of them are portrayed as faces right now, I believe. So you need some good chasers. So a good heel, even though she's not my favorite, Dakota Kai has shown the ability to like get some heat, piss some people off. So I feel like it's a thing that can happen, and this would be a good opportunity to build a strong women's faction. We haven't those. Like, you know, they tried to get it off with the Riot Squad, but like, you know, with Ruby Riot injuries and Liv Morgan, you know, having to take extra time to come along, like it just didn't work. We need a strong women's faction. So this idea can work, but people gonna have to in the back have to be dedicated to creating a good show, letting these girls work their styles and be who they are. And just like with the AEW approach, just let this thing build organically. Just make sure you put your best foot forward. So we got enough women. You got women on NXT UK and NXT Raw, SmackDown. They got the women to do it. But the part that's going to have to carry over is make these storylines matter on Raw and SmackDown so we can tune back in to the Evolution show or whatever they would call the women's brand, and we still be engaged. Because if you just keep it on the Evolution brand and we wait a whole week, we're going to forget about the show through the other watching the other WWE content that they have. So they got to make that thing just be woven in everything else they do and make their matches matter on the pay-per-view. Don't put their matches on the kickoff show. Make their matches matter. So like this thing will be as great as they want it to be. The fans will take it as serious as the company takes it. Yeah. So I feel like this is the perfect timing. The women stars haven't been bigger. You got like that Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. Like these are big stars, big personalities, good looks, good wrestling styles. Like Becky Lynch. Like they got the stars. They just got to do the thing right.
Yeah, you right about that. I heard a couple people say, man, Triple H got to run this. Triple H got to run it, you know, somewhere down in NXT because Vince McMahon ain't gonna know what to do with it, you know. And if they do, how you feel about Charlotte Flair all around?
All right, I don't even want to take nothing from Charlotte because people want to say that she's successful because her last name is Flair. But you got to remember that back in WCW, Ric Flair's son, I think it was David, rest his soul, he tried to wrestle on WCW when he was a flop. And the Flair name didn't help him. But with Charlotte, you can see that she puts the work in to be a good competitor in the ring first. And I feel like even though her last name is Flair, if she wasn't good in that ring and good on the mic, she wouldn't be around. So I want to say that. However, I will say that she is granted many, 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 many opportunities ahead of a lot of people, and I get it. Like, they know she's gonna deliver in some spots, but at the same time, like, it's overkill with her. Right now, she is a 12-time women's champion. Right now, and I think she made her main roster debut in 2016 or 17. So, like, within five-year span, she's won the championship 12 times, and I feel like that's where it's overkill.
Yeah. With her title reigns though, they just added on her NXT title reigns and just basically counted it up. And I don't really like. But besides that, Charlotte is cool. I understand, yes, she's Ric Flair's daughter. I think at this point right now, with she's on the roll and she's going to be, I think she just needs to be basically the John Cena of the women's division. She says she's the opportunity. And if we're going to build a women's division around and we're going to build it up with some story, I want to get the Charlotte and Bianca, Belair match, because they did have one in NXT. So, Bianca Belair champion now, and Charlotte coming in thinking, she too Miss Goody Two Shoes. So, Bianca gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna shut you down. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna get my rematch and win. So, I don't know, but I kind of like, I dig what Charlotte is doing right now, and I understand she get way too many damn opportunities. She don't need to be champion. Her name is the champion right there. Yeah. So, you know, they could put her or put someone in a feud with her, and by beating Charlotte, that's your champion. That's your championship right there. You could brag and talk about, I beat Charlotte. Look what Carmella did, when she beat Charlotte, but I don't know. That's interesting to see where that goes right there. But you guys know we're gonna move on here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Last time I talked to you, it was before WrestleMania. Did you enjoy Mania?
I did. It was everything we needed. Like, if you notice, since WrestleMania, there's been no live crowds.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the difference between the fans and no fans. It was an energetic night, emotional night. Just levels was running high. You could tell that the performers, the superstars, they were more fired up than we'd have seen in a long time. And one thing I want to say about that event, the first night, Saturday night, where the rain delayed it.
Oh, man.
I love how each superstar just improvised on the spot, cutting the promos just to, keep the show rolling. Like, that just fired up everybody even more. So it was a great 2 nights. History was made. Like, I just can't wait till we get back to normal with the crowd again. That's what make this that's what make this thing what it is. The fan reaction. That's why they do what they do, just to get that reaction.
Man, the opening, like you mentioned, that rain delay, that was the first time ever right there. I was like, wow, man, if life ain't something else, we get to this moment right here, the first time we get to see fans and stuff, and you telling me it's a rain delay?
Exactly. It added to the suspense. Like, man, this close. We gotta wait some more.
Man, they was fired up, especially like Drew McIntyre and Bobby, who was going on first, and they was just like, man, especially Drew. He was just like, I'm not about to let no freaking rain stop me going out there. And from Kevin Owens to everybody who went out there, man, you could tell especially Kevin Owens, when he came out halfway, he wanted to turn back around. Because he was just like, real people, like real people, like this is cool. This is cool though. Speaking of fans, this past week on AEW, they had fans, large attended fans, for Blood and Guts, and they announced that I think it's Double or Nothing. They're gonna have for full capacity, 5,500 people there. So that's going to be interesting to see though. But AEW just in general, did you catch Blood and Guts this past week?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. It was cool before you. It was cool. I heard about Blood and Guts before it aired this past Wednesday. I heard it was just going to be one match. Did you hear about the fan who spent money on a ticket to go to the show and he realized it was just one match?
I did see that online.
Yeah. I was curious how they did it, but I mean, you can't be mad. I mean, I don't think you read the instructions, my guy, but I mean, hey, I mean, how would you feel if you got to the show and the first hour you got to watch on TV, and then the second match is just blood and guts, just live. That's it, the one match.
I personally wouldn't be upset because the specific facility that they were in, logistically, they could not put on that show and how's that structure around the ring at the same time. So with my understanding of how those things work, I kind of would have had some idea. I would have read up on it too. You know, when you purchase tickets on the website, they give you a little bit of what you should expect on the show. And you know, I feel like he didn't do enough research. And naturally, sometimes being a fan, you go in with expecting one thing, so you don't research as much as you should. And, you know, when he got there, he just was surprised. So, but you know, as long as the show was still good and the main attraction was good, like, shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I mean, in my opinion, man, it was good. Now that you said that, it did make sense, because I was like, where the hell that cage was at the whole time? You know, I didn't see it, you know, above the ring. So, you know, watching it, you know, Wednesday night, I didn't pay it no attention. They said they were live off the jump, so I was just like, okay. So I didn't pay attention to all the backstage. I was like, okay. Kenny came out there, had a promo with Orange Cassidy, and then Rusev or Mero came out there, had a promo. So I was just like, it's pretty interesting, but interesting how they did it. Let it say, I'm always a big fan of like TV shit, how they do that like that. Like I'm always curious. Like when I started going to wrestling events, I always wanted to be like the first person in there, you know, inside the arena and shit like that. And especially like I would stay afterwards just to see a little bit, just to see like how do they do that or whatnot. So yeah, it was just
it's a lot of magic.
Yeah,
to make it go how it go. It's constantly dudes moving around segment to segment just to pull off like the show that they put off. That's why one thing I will say about the WWE production value, like, man, pyro, moving cameras, lights, just everything. Like, I will commend them on that, because that's a lot of work, and it's live. Like, everything got to go perfect, and they do it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Pyros, man. I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan.
Everyone has something to say, a story to tell. We make it easy to share yours. So let's talk.
Regardless of your podcast setup, hit record. And from there, whether your podcast reaches 10 people or 10 million, we can help you get heard wherever listeners are.
And who knows, maybe even quit your day job.
But no matter who hears you, it's about connecting and sharing something from your perspective.
It's about having a voice and using it without anything standing in your way. Say it all with Anchor.
While we on the AEW, what's your thoughts on the FTW title? Because it don't seem like my man Brian Cage ever gets to defend the title. I seen someone talking about this. I think my guys over at the Jofo podcast. And my man with the Dirty Hills. I had the Dirty Hills over here. And they were talking about this, and I was just also seeing, because every time I see Brian Cage, it's just something about him is just not clicking with me. I don't know, because he had the FTW title. I don't know. Like, what's up with that?
First of all, I just want to say that the FTW title is equivalent to the 24/7 title to me. Like,
24/7 title is better than her.
It's like, it just seemed like one of them. Like, it is a gimmick title. And like no true like storyline or anything is just put behind it. It's just something that it's an accessory pretty much, backed by nothing. Like, if he was built properly and, you know, he came out with the title, then it would make sense. It would mean something. But like, it's kind of like Brian Cage was there, Taz showed up, here's this title. It's yours now. Like, it was nothing put behind it. If Brian Cage came on the scene and went on a dominant win streak, destroying everybody, and like Then he was like, all right, this is the FTW title. It's mine. If you the biggest and the baddest, you feel like you can take it from me, come get it. Like something like that. I'll be cool. But like, why have a title if you're not going to defend it?
Yeah.
Like it don't make sense. Like it devalues it. And like you said, you don't connect with her. I don't connect with him either. Like he got the look.
Yeah, he do. He got that, and that's what seemed like what they gave him the belt. They was like, you got the look. Here you go. But he had a cool matchup with Kenny Omega. I like his finisher, but it's just something about him. It's just like, I don't know.
He's just another one of them guys who need somebody next to him. Like literally, like I hate to say it, but Paul Heyman, he the type of person that you stick to a dude like this, because like you don't gotta talk. Paul Heyman gonna instantly give you your credibility. He'll give you your little backstory, and we're gonna go from there. All you gotta do is go in the ring and deliver. And that's that. So I know somebody out there, maybe he need a Zelina Vega behind him to get him, set him right. Cause like Andrade, when he first hit onto the scene, I didn't care for him. But like over time I became a fan because she pushed all the right buttons to get him to where he needed to go. So maybe Brian Cage needs something.
Yeah.
First of all, because the fact that title was on him and they not doing nothing with it, let me know that like, you know, they don't see much value in it right now. Because when they gave it to him, I thought like, oh, okay, maybe this is big push. And since then, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it haven't been nothing, man. Haven't been nothing. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the on Talk Pro Wrestling, you guys. Two things has returned this week, or it's about to return. One of them, I don't think a lot of fans are thrilled about. Eva Marie. Have you heard about Eva Marie or Evolution?
And come on, we did this already. We did this already.
I didn't know how true the rumors were, but I heard she was returning for some time now. And I heard people talking about, wow, you got rid of a 6-time women's champion of Mickie James and you bring back Eva Marie. You know, like, I don't know. What could be different?
I mean, outside the ring, I mean, she's made a name for herself in fitness. She got a following, like modeling. I'm sure she's done some acting gigs. Mm-hmm. But as far as in sports entertainment, like, I don't know how much training she's done to become better in the ring, because that was the main problem that she had, is she was terrible in the ring. Like, terrible, absolutely terrible. So like, it's been what, 6 years?
Like, have it been 6 years?
It's been a while. Wow. Probably more than before, but it's been a little while. Like, yeah. Like, what? Why now? That's my question. Why now? Where you got proven women again, like Rhea Ripley there. You got Bianca Belair. You got women. Her presence there is going to take away from an opportunity from somebody who actually deserves to be there. Because I can imagine that they're not going to bring her back and not use it. Now, will they shelve her later? Because they do that. But right now, in the immediate future, she's going to be on TV. She has to be. Mm-hmm. She has to be. But you got a lady like Ruby Riott who's never had a fair shake. Never had a fair shake. And she's a good performer. So, like, I don't like it for that sense. Like, now, if they would have brought her back through NXT, I could live with that. Mm-hmm. I literally could live with that, because she'll be in the performance center getting better. And if she is ready for TV, they'll put her on TV, but they'll bring her along slowly so that she can know what to improve on week to week. So I would have brought her back that way. It would have made more sense. But she get the main spotlight while a lady like Naomi, another one,
Man, I'm tired. I'm tired of Naomi just losing, man. I just feel so bad for her. I thought they was going to win, the tag team titles this past week on Raw when they saved that match right before. Like, I don't even know, but Eva Marie, I feel it though. Like this time around, it got to be something different. Like she got to pop. Like she must have done something real decent. Must have proved like. It gotta be. You brought like one of the worst women's wrestlers that a lot of fans really hated. They'll dislike, better words, than to bring her back. So
the only thing I could think of outside of the wrestling ring is she must be about to become a manager to somebody. Who? I don't know. Now that role I can see her in because the heat is already there. All she gotta do is play to it and sell it. And she could thrive in that role. But as far as an in-ring competitor, I don't see it. The best person who made a jump as an in-ring competitor that I've seen recently was Liv Morgan. You know, she's not the best, but she's not absolutely awful anymore. She has gotten better. So like you don't see that. Either you're good or you're not, and I don't think Eva Marie would be good.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Another thing is returning or has returned. The Dark Side of the Ring. Have you seen the new episode of Dark Side of the Ring of the Brian Pillman?
I have not, but that's something I want to check out. I know people was clamoring for more Dark Side of the Ring documentaries.
Yeah.
I know in the wrestling groups they be throwing out names of who they should do. So they catered to a want with this one. So I'm actually anxious to see it because I like watching these documentaries again in depth with what goes on in the industry and with these stars. So I'm anxious to see that.
What has been your favorite one so far?
Dark Side of the Ring. I think did they do one of Mankind? Mick Foley? I don't think
I'm not sure, but I think so. I'm not quite sure. The Dark Side of the Ring Zone is dope. I think my favorite episode or part they did was the New Jack one. New Jack one was wild. I think that was like the most craziest one. I never seen a guy like him, but I'm really enjoying that. The whole A&E documentary, WWE documentaries, they cool too.
That was a great deal when they seen that.
Yeah.
I know Dark Side of the Ring really, really caught some appeal when they was talking about Benoit,
of course,
and all of that stuff. And of course, when he was alive, that was my guy. So like, I could say that just off rip, like that's one of the more intriguing ones, just because it's just a lot of controversy surrounding, his career in his last days. I hate that the tragedy around him happened. Some people say it was CTE. Some people say roid rage. So that was one of the more compelling episodes of it. I know they had one. What was it with the Road Warriors?
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah. So them a couple that stand out in my mind. Just off rip. Probably season 2 of it. So off top, I could say that those were some of the more compelling ones.
Okay.
So
yeah.
But Brian Pillman, that's somebody that they don't talk about often.
Yeah.
So it'd be intriguing to dive into that one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I seen the part 1 of the episode was pretty good. How they was talking about, I think they left off on the car crash he just got. He was buying a Hummer. They was talking about how Brian Pillman was always like, he was like not sort of complaining about money, but saying I gotta save money. But then he turned around and buy a Hummer. So he was in a Hummer, he was in a car crash, and I think we all remember, when Brian Pillman had that knee brace on, after that car crash and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to the many episodes that they gonna produce. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. Last week on SmackDown, we sort of I basically seen the last match of Daniel Bryan. What you think is next for DB?
It's hard to tell. I remember he was on the record saying that, he ready to wind down and be a father, be with his family. Also, he on the record saying, he want to perform part-time. So I know SmackDown is out of the question. So I think the more realistic thing is this. He's not under contract currently. I think he'll go chill, relax, and I think Daniel Bryan ultimately will sign. I want to say he'll sign back.
I think he will.
And if he'll sign back. And I think he'll probably be one of the guys you see only at SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Around those spots.
I can see him most definitely coming back, going into like the Rumble, since he got dumped off or put off SmackDown. He's most likely probably going to be on Raw, or like how you were saying earlier, he could be in NXT.
Yeah, so I can see that. I don't see him going to Japan. I keep hearing that. It's just his family is rooted here. I don't see that. AEW. How many guys of that caliber can they have? If he does go to AEW, he's by far the biggest, most credible star they have, even bigger than Moxley to me. On the same level as Jericho in, the in-ring aspect. Jericho got a little more star power than DB. But, like, how many more guys can you have on there? They don't have enough television programming for that. I always go back to the Matt Hardy thing. Matt Hardy came. Where the hell is he now? It's like AEW just like to use the such and such as all elites just as a promo thing. And that's it. There's nothing really manifest out of it. So I know Brody Lee, he probably had the most success of any signing outside of Moxley because he became champion, had a good run, rest his soul as well. But anybody else like who went, I can't say their profile was elevated. So can Daniel Bryan help? Yes. But what can you do to make his run compelling? What star do you have on AEW that can make his run as compelling? And I don't think they have it. So I do think he'll return to the WWE part-time basis. The Royal Rumble prediction, that's a good one. He might come back and win because I think that's the only thing he don't have on his resume.
Yeah, that's all he kept saying. That's all he kept saying. I never won a battle royal or something like that. So thought he was going to win it this year. So hey, I'm interested, man, to see what's next.
Hey, and the WWE just showed they'll let him return and start winning. His was going on his job and came back and won that thing.
You're right about that. What you think on Roman Reigns' new theme song?
I think they finally put that Shield thing to rest. Was it necessary for his legacy? I don't think so, because I feel like he was the face of the Shield. So why not let him just keep that song? But also I feel like it's good for him because it further entrenches him in this tribal chief thing.
He really does.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at it.
I ain't mad at it.
I honestly, everything that Roman has done since aligning himself with Paul Heyman, for the most part, has made sense and has contributed to something. So I feel like this just add to that. So like, I'm with it. I think it's cool.
Okay. Hey man, Presteeje, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the podcast, man, this week. Before you go, will Vince McMahon return be best for business?
That's a hard question because Vince has contributed a lot to the industry.
Yeah.
Like the industry won't be what it is without Vince McMahon. Like he took that territory model and did away with it and turned wrestling into a global phenomenon. So I cannot pretend like his ambition has not created something that we still enjoy to this day. Because wrestling was just a traveler circus sideshow for many decades until Vince came along and was like, watch this. So he gave it cachet. Now, is he flawed? Yes. Just like some older people, they get stuck in their ways and they can't see past themselves. So with him retiring to help business, I'm gonna say yes, just because I know what's coming next. Triple H through NXT has shown that he's in tune with the wrestling community, what people want to see, consistently building new stars. If you look through the cycle of NXT, just building continuously like clockwork. And I think Triple H, if he assumed that position, will continue that. That philosophy will be company-wide and not just on NXT. I would hate to see Vince retire because, just everything that, he's contributed. I wish he would just, take his hands off a little bit more so we can still celebrate him. But at the same time, business is business. And even though he is the business, if you are hurting the business, you should go. So that's my take. So if I had to say yes or no, I would say yes, because he's had a great run. And he's built something that we could sustain and continue to add to. So I would say yes, he should go retire.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I love Vince, man. He done it all, man. Like, we all probably wouldn't be as big as wrestling fans that we are if it wasn't for Vince. And and in this day and age, with the company, this past Monday on Raw, I watched Raw and I was like, wow, I'm truly a fan because this sucks. I sat there for them 3 hours and I was like, man, it has its moments. And it's like SmackDown is just like the new show now. It's just like, man, from beginning to end, it's just, and I think because mostly it's on Fox. And, of course, NXT does good. It's just what it is because Triple H behind it. And it's just like Raw, with the new commentary guys, it's not making it no better, and it's just,
that commentary change didn't make sense to me. And I respect Adnan Vert from ESPN and his work he did there, but this move didn't make sense because it came out of nowhere first and foremost. Like now with Pat McAfee on SmackDown, I get that.
Oh, I get that. I like his energy because he always standing up throughout the whole damn show. I can see it. So I love his energy. I really do. I like the Tom Phillips on Raw though. I liked it, his enthusiasm when he, brought that. What happened?
Tom Phillips. Why don't people like him?
I like the Tom.
Yeah, and they got Samoa Joe out of there too. So it's like, so they will sooner or later they will be changing. They change the commentary team all the time on Raw. So we're gonna see somebody else. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Wade Barrett a try from NXT. Wouldn't be surprised. But if they want Raw to ever get back to what it was, they do have to lock down that spot. Because that's the one thing that was consistent about Raw in the 90s. You knew it was going to be the King, and you knew it was going to be JR. And they was going to convey that story the best way possible. So Corey Graves, dope. I even like Byron Saxton, but they need that one key member to bring it all together. And until they do that, it's gonna be unbearable to watch. You might as well watch with no sound.
You're right about that, man. You're right about that.
Before we go, I got one question for you.
Okay.
Did you see or hear that Jinder Mahal beat Jeff Hardy?
No, with
Main event?
No, I did not. He beat him on main event?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I did not.
What the hell Jeff Hardy doing on main event?
I have no idea, but it seems like they don't have a spot for him on Monday Night Raw. But hey, congratulations to Jinder. You know, like I would love to see him back.
Yeah, do that mean like he's about to get a little push or something? Like, you know?
I don't know. But I don't know. That old Jinder, you know, Mahal, when he became champion, that shocked the hell out of me. I said to myself, man, there's a couple of champions who became. I was watching the Miz documentary 24/7 on the network, and they were talking about the part where, of course, he, you know, became champion for the second time like a couple of months ago. And I was like, man, Miz is one of those guys, before he won the title the second time, man, will he ever be champion again? You know, he was in that category with Jinder Mahal for a while and maybe a couple other guys, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Will Jinder Mahal ever be champion again? I would like to see it. You know, I always wanted to see Heath Slater become a champion, you know, because 3MD, you know, Eve said if anything, he would have liked to be the IC champion. And I would have been okay with that, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a notable title. Yeah. So Hall of Famers then won that title. So if that was the least he did, then hey, I'll take it.
You're right. Before you go, before we end this, man, we got SmackDown, Throwback SmackDown coming up this week. It took them a hell of a long time to do this. We had a Throwback Raw for a while, but this week on SmackDown, we got Throwback SmackDown. Which Titantron you want to see? You want to see the OG Oval or you want to see the Fist?
I gotta say that Fist. I gotta say that Fist.
The Fist.
And they gotta bring that they gotta do it with the Marilyn Manson song, The Beautiful People.
Oh.
They gotta do that one. They gotta bring that one. I'll be hyped.
Yeah, that'll be dope, man. Have you seen the Fist in person?
No, I never had the opportunity to see the Fist in person.
Yeah, me neither. I'm right along with you. No, I haven't. Yeah, I'm right along. I haven't. I was like, man, I wanted to see that, you know, Titantron and the Oval, but yeah, I missed that one though. I missed that one. It's probably their best set they ever did. Like as far as Raw and SmackDown, like the creativity of the Fish, that's dope. Yeah, man, that's dope. We're gonna see what they're gonna do. We're gonna see what they do. But my man Presteeje, man, I appreciate you joining me this week on Talk Pro Wrestling, man. Before you go, any questions, any shout outs, anything you'd like to say, man?
Hey, yo, just shout out everybody on the Dope World News podcast. Hey, we making moves. Be on the lookout for the second season of Tapped In. So if you are a recording artist and you got 2 music videos, hey, hit us up. We trying to do an interview, and you gotta be able to kick a mean freestyle. Check out the Dope World News podcast at www.overdopeproductions.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Overdope Productions. Shout out Nirvana Nash, Nasty, Jabril, C, our cameraman, Nate. Hey, shout out everybody. Shout out the whole Yaktown. Shout out Sean P, our sponsor. Yaktown Don't Back Down. That's all I got.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Dope World News Podcast. Shout them out, man. Go check it out. Go subscribe to their podcast. Yo, Presteeje, man. I appreciate you. You know you're welcome anytime here to talk pro wrestling with me, man. Just to chop it up, man.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me. Hey, this was good. Hey, we gonna have many more of these.
Yeah, many more.
I definitely can't wait till the world get back to normal, because we definitely gotta connect and just do something dope, just face to face.
Yeah, man. I'm all down for that, man.
Might have to bring the Dope World News podcast to DC.
Hey,
they have to blow that thing for sure.
Hey, man, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome, man. Look, yeah, I'm always excited, man. Every episode that just it'd be dope. It'd just be, it'd be awesome. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, same. Thank you, bro, for everything that you do. The support, just the love. Hey, it mean a lot to me. That's all I can say is just I give my highest form of gratitude to you.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you a lot, man. Keep doing your thing, for real, man. Keep doing your thing. You know we're going to stay in contact. And once again, thank you for joining me this week on the podcast, my guy.
Hey, no problem.
Yo, Presteeje, man, it was an awesome time chatting with you, man. Knocked it out the park, man. Knocked it out the park. It was a great episode, man. Great episode. Man, like I was just saying, off air, man. It's guys like you that when this whole world gets back to normal, I want to meet, man. Sit, chat with, talk with, man, and just, talk about wrestling and everything, man, because excuse me, been a great time for you joining me here on the podcast. Awesome time, man. To talk about women's wrestling, man, to talk about NXT and everything, you guys, man. Man, it's been one hell of an episode, you guys. Like we were saying, we got to see the fist tonight on SmackDown, you guys, man. We got to see the fist. If we don't see the fist, I think we're going to ride. We're going to be a little upset if we don't see her fist. But they talking about throwback SmackDown with the whole logo. It looked like they're going with the oval, though. But who knows, though, bro. Yo, Presteeje, man. Awesome time chatting with you. You guys go check out the Dope World News podcast. Go subscribe to it. Go listen to it. Go do all that good stuff, for real. And yo, man, it's been a great episode. I'm out of here, you guys know. Before I do, you guys, don't forget to tune in to the 1130 podcast this Wednesday on EB Radio, you guys, and YouTube streaming at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And an all-new episode, you guys, of the documentary streaming on the 1130 podcast YouTube channel this Sunday. And yo, before I go, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. You dig? Yes, you guys. Subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. I appreciate it so much, man. You guys leave a comment so I can know what you think and all that good stuff, for real. And yo, man, it's the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, you guys, on iHeartRadio. Subscribe on iHeartRadio. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Leave all that good stuff, man. Leave a review. And yeah, let them know, man, what you think about the 1130 podcast. And also, you guys, man, I just mentioned EB Radio. Download the free EB Radio app right now so you can listen to some great music, some dope podcasts, all that good stuff. For real. Download the free EB Radio app right now. And yo, if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130podcast at gmail.com. The 1130 podcast at gmail.com. Or just email me or DM me on social media. You know how we get down. We can just work, man. For real. It's been a great episode, man. For real. Great episode. We got to see if we're going to get that all-women's brand, man. You know, because 7 years ago, I don't know if they would have pulled this off. I don't think we had a credible, women's wrestler out there 7 years ago that can main event anything. But nowadays, we'll see where it goes. Can we get a part 2 of Evolution? Eva Marie is back. Oh, wow. I know. And my man, I know a lot of people like, really? They got to do something with her if they brought her back. So I feel as though she's going to knock, I don't know. There's a bold prediction. She's going to knock it out the park this time. I know you guys, they're going to like, man, I'm going to unfollow the 1130 podcast. Nah, for real. I don't know, man. I really don't know. And Vince McMahon, I love you, my guy, but I would love to see Triple H take over, man, because, crazy times. But yo, you guys, man, it's been an awesome episode. I'm out of here. Hope all you guys have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to everybody who got moms out there, and all the moms that are not here with us. Happy Mother's Day. And yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. No, with me, yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. He the one, nigga. So let's Breeze, baby. He the one with me. So Breeze, baby. Let's get it. You with me. Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options.